Dun dun dun. Hello and
Uh,
welcome back to Rolex Play, where we roll dice and play games. That's it. That's
Yay.
us. Hello, we're back. You've joined us for Threads of Chaos, where the chaos is very much threaded here. It is going to be a very interesting session after what happened last time. We nearly have a full house. We have Arne, Robbie, and Leonie here. We might be getting Brooke slightly later, since they are running a little bit late. But without further ado, we shall just dive in with a little bit of a recap. So, last session saw our party traveling to the city of Vesyl, a lawless city controlled by three family members. Three almost, you could say, edges of society, perhaps a bit more shady influences here and there. Three families had taken over this city and called it theirs. Upon arriving into the city, there was a slight hiccup with Cal and his mounts that he was currently driving. One of the slugs had unfortunately lost its reins and had flown into the side of a mountain, dying altogether. The second had found its way into the city and caused a bit of a ruckus, with the party having to run after and try and pick up the pieces as they went along. Finding out the city is now filled with a different type of people, a almost tribal-like group from a distant continent. They have taken over and made an influence here, seeing a bit more of a barbaric shift in tone to especially the kind of people here. There is more kind of displays of aggression, more ruthless guards here as well. Things aren't taken lightly, and this disturbance has caught the eye of one of the head guards here, Fia, who had approached the party and had discussed the possible options of what to do with their slug that had entered and destroyed an area of the market. Now, upon discussing back and forth, they were able to smooth this over slightly, but Cal had confessed that the slug had pertained to themselves and was culpable of the slug's mistakes. So, in this, Fear had a lovely conversation, we'll say, with Cal. And in that conversation, told them that they are now a part of his almost ward. He will be looking after them this evening alongside the new leader, Maeve, the Scarlet Deceiver. The party now have a place to rest, but whether they wish to go there or not is up to them. Guards still follow them around the markets as they've been kind of weaving in and out, purchasing very strange items, others very illegal, purchasing souls and such. But they finally, with this side quest that they have been given, arrive at the I can't remember what the name is now. Fucking just left me. The Masked Duchess, the brothel. I'm just going to say it straight up. Here in the city. Now entering, Cal has worked in this establishment before, knows some of the people here, and they have gained access to speak with the Masked Duchess herself, Braina, who has taken her around the back to have a private conversation in a VIP lounge. That's where we last left off. The party is currently split. And so what we're going to do, we're going to start off with the other side of the party, which is Olrin, alongside Richter and Tuco. Olrin, you have just entered the city, and you have just seen the other members of your party. Richter had spoken to them directly, and they kind of shooed you off with a very kind of subtle, please don't approach us sort of kind of approach to their dialogue. As well, with Helen giving a mental message to Richter to say, stay away from us because trouble is about. Now, Richter was helping guide you in this kind of hazy state as you had been poisoned by Tuco. Now that has faded away, but you're still feeling a little bit nauseous. You still haven't completely healed over, but your senses have now come back to you. And you're seeing the city for what it is. Built in the mountains, it is just completely shaded over by not even you can't even see the moonlight because of how jagged and sharp some of the mountain peaks are and how tall they are in this nest of a city that you're in. People walk back and forth. You can see people in chains, just carried and bartered. You can see animals caged as well. Things that you don't typically see elsewhere in other cities, more in the kind of shady black market areas. And here it's on full display. And you can see these guards, these fire genasi guards, painted with blue markings across their faces and arms. They are keeping a very vigilant eye out on anyone who walks past. At the moment, you've kind of blended into the crowd. And when it turns nighttime, which it is now, it seems to be its busiest. So you're kind of blending in fairly well at the moment. But I will say that some of your religious iconography does stand out. Richter will just kind of lean into the two of you as you're walking in and out of these groups of people. So, it sounds like the others are under duress. I don't know how we wish to approach this. We could try to avoid them altogether, and that leaves us being a bit more safer. But if they're in trouble, I don't know what we can do to help them.
Well, we might have to approach this stealthily, which I'm particularly bad at, unfortunately.
Tuco raises his hand.
Me too. I'm not very good at hiding and stealthing.
Okay, well, we can try and work to your strengths. What are we going to do, though? We can try and lay low, grab a place at the inn. This place is heavily fortified. They have ballista atop all of the mountain peaks, and garrisons walk by in several numbers. It's going to be difficult to get anywhere without being spotted. Not impossible, but we'll need to be clever about it. They look like they were heading into the brothel, but I don't know where they're going to next. Perhaps we try and stay around here, keep busy in the markets, and keep an eye out.
Yes, I think that would be the best.
Okay, that sounds like a plan then. As well, just be careful with some religious artifacts here. They tend to try and, well, this place isn't known for being high and mighty. They might see unkindly to your iconography that you wear, Olrin. So, unfortunately, it might be for the best to keep it hidden.
Orin's face pretty much crumples over into a frown.
I know, I don't like it either, but this is where we are now, and this place looks much different than what it's been before. This isn't a place of lawlessness or possibility, as it's always been publicized as. Now this is in the hands of an authoritarian. So we are at the behest of whoever is in charge here.
So it seems. As he shuffles his sigil a bit deeper into his beard, conceal it somewhat.
Mm-hmm. All right, I will post myself in the crowd, try and find a vantage point that you can look through, maybe even in a market or in a building. But we'll see if we can try and spot our friends. Tuco, if you could go alongside Olrin, perhaps you can help him with your magic if necessary. I'll blend in quite easily here. Good luck. And you see he just turns the corner and very Assassin's Creed-like just blends in with the rest of the crowd, walking alongside.
So sorry about earlier. I didn't mean to get spit in your mouth, but everything was flying and.
Of course you didn't. And I take no offense. It wasn't a pleasant experience, but neither was the crash.
No. I think maybe some of the paralyzing effects maybe helped you not be so badly hurt. I don't know. I'm trying to look at the good side.
Well, it certainly helped me not to feel them, which is a danger in its own right, but I appreciate the thought, I suppose.
Just a thought. So, where do we go? What do we do?
Good question. It's not a place I would usually go around. Honestly, I have no idea how to not act suspicious here. It's rather disgusting on a moral basis.
Oh yeah, this place sucks. I saw someone fucking dead in the entranceway. No, I don't like it. No, not good. A little bit fascinating though, because, well, this place wasn't always like this.
Oh. So you've been here before?
No, but I've heard stories and stuff. I've heard that it's used to be like a temple, place connected into the Howling Mountains, and well, there used to be like a cave that would go deep into the mountains and led to the other side. And there is like another town on the other side, but you need to like go through the caves, and there's a lot of monsters, and you die. There's a lot of that.
Oh,
But
somehow sounds like my god's own temple up in the Howling Mountains.
maybe.
Do you know which god this temple here was dedicated to?
You can roll a religion check as well. You
Yeah,
rolled
sure.
in that too. Fuck's sake, Tuco. 2 and a 3.
We're
You
amazing
both
at
kind
this.
of like spend a moment looking up. You both come to the conclusion that no, that there's no god that you kind of remember, and you would assume because of your like studies and as well as Tuco's knowledge, the two of you working together would have an idea of what sort of deity this probably prayed to, or at least was home to, or a temple in honor of. But nothing's coming to your mind, which is also kind of concerning because that means if there is one, then it's not of a lineage of a pantheon that you're familiar with. Perhaps it's something else. You can roll a history check as well.
I'm on board with that. But
Okay.
it got minutely better.
Yeah, with an 11. When you're thinking of this place and its structure and seeing some of the buildings here, there's a lot of the fortifications that seem newly built, but there's also elements of old kind of relics of the past, like buildings atop the mountain peaks that you're seeing just faint images of, um, areas where the mountains themselves are carved slightly in areas. And there's kind of like the idea here of this place has expanded beyond the borders of what was originally here. Whoever found this, whoever kind of started building this area, built on top of something. So there is something here, something old, ancient, that dates back more beyond this era, beyond when this place became a town, maybe even before there were even real nations that you see today. Um, but you're not sure of what they would pertain to or what they are, yeah, I guess, dedicated in honor of.
Oh boy, there's a dungeon here.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
share
I
my
don't
findings
know.
with Tuco.
I don't really know. Strange though.
Well, perhaps I might find the answer in some archive next I have time. But for now, perhaps we should look at some of the more savory market stands and try to stare at it non-conspicuously.
Okay, that sounds good.
As you are kind of walking alongside Tuco, you do see a couple of people looking over and seeing your friend with you and just kind of like making eyes, just kind of examining this strange Oran, a frog person, just walking alongside. Um, at one point, you see someone just kind of reach over. Hey, how much for the Oran?
What?
How much for him?
I turn around to him with a hand on my hammer. Not for sale.
Come on, everything's for sale.
Well, there's certainly a lot of things for sale. Look around, you might find something.
Roll an intimidation check.
Right. There's intimidation, there's intimidation.
Okay. It's not your day.
No,
Oh, no, it's
really
not
isn't.
your day.
Yeah, right. Yeah, nothing like him, though. Look at him, little fella. All greased up. Yeah, I'll give you 100 platinum. I'm flattered.
I still remember saying no.
150?
I'm not haggling.
All right, keep the bastard.
And he just kind of leans back.
Oh, 150 is quite a lot of pennies.
Well, I fear enough to try something untoward once we're out of view.
Oh, are you getting a little tainted because of this place?
No, I honestly expect us to get mugged in the next alley.
Oh, really? Oh, shit. Ah.
You see, he starts like packing his things. Starts tightening his little overcoat.
Okay. Eye
Well-
on things. Okay.
But to be fair, I will get mugged, you will get kidnapped.
What? Okay.
No worries. I try to keep watch. But we should probably stay in view of more people. So long as they think they have competition, they might not strike.
Okay.
He starts looking around, eyes wide, just trained in every area possible. I'd like for you to roll a performance check, just to see how well you blend into the crowd.
Oh boy. Come on. Yes.
Nice. And as well, I'd like you to roll just a general perception check, as you are keeping an eye out.
Oh, I'm cursed on those. Leonie can attest.
Oh,
Yeah.
he jinxed himself. Tuco is going to do the same. He's going to roll a performance. Pretty good. Then he's going to roll his perception. Dog shit. He's too worried to be like keeping an eye out. So the two of you do a good job to blend into the crowd. At some point, you are seeing some of the guards beginning to enter the groups of people and kind of like dispersing them as though they're looking for someone in particular. You see they're kind of like shifting people out of the way, looking around. A couple of people get offended and they start kind of like going up to them to try and like have a go. You just hear one of them go, "Oi, don't fucking push me!" And you see he begins to go up to the guard. The guard, in a flash, pulls out a long spear, and the blade pierces the side of the guy's arm, and he pushes it in deep, and he goes, "Oh!" Takes it like a champ. But then you see the guard lifts up the pole, and then pins him down into the ground. And slowly, the guy is just pushed down onto his back, onto the stone floor, as quietly the spear is placed, and you watch as some element of the spear is clicked, and then it is just holding there in space. And you see the guys like trying to push it, trying to move it, but having no effect at moving this immovable object that is pinning him down into his shoulder. You see the Fire Ganassi begin to look around further. You are blending with the crowd, and you see he's just training his eyes. He's going to roll a perception check to see if he can find you at disadvantage. That's not enough. The steely-eyed look of this Fire Ganassi is just trained on the group. But your stout figure, as well as Tuco's kind of short stature, the two of you are able to blend in with some of the larger folk in this crowd. And you are just not seen, as you can gather very strongly that they are looking for the two of you. as you're a part of the group and weren't gathered together. So you hide away from them, and then eventually the spear is brought back into the Fire Genesi's hand on clear and wall. This guy just bleeding out and beginning to like try and patch himself up. But yeah, you keep an eye out.
That was brutal. Can we stay away from them?
I hope so, yes.
Do you think they were looking for us?
I'm not sure.
Hmm.
Seeing as Cal has already done something, perhaps they're looking for his associates.
Why do we always fall into these things?
Well, we kind of try looking for trouble at this point.
Hmm. I guess you're right. Okay. Well, I think we're in a good spot, so let's see if we can find them when they leave.
I just hope the brothel over there has only one exit.
Oh, shit. Maybe we should look for the other exit. Do you think there is one?
Well, I would rather bet my chances on this one, because if we split up, well,
I could try and sneak in.
do you have an invisibility spell or something of the
No.
sort? Then let's just casually walk around in circles.
Okay.
Okay. Then the two of you just continue walking the markets, not being accosted, not being approached by any other marketers here trying to sell their wares or buy Tuco. So you are left to your own devices, keeping an eye out for your party. Now, jumping back to the brothel, you're behind the scenes in the VIP suite, whereas Brainer's seemingly her kind of like preparation room, the place where she zens and kind of zones out and relaxes for a performance later on. There is almost this trickling fountain on the right hand side, with chairs that gather around some large, kind of opulent looking sofas, very kind of beautiful and quite vintage looking, some quite old and a bit rusty and antique like. There is almost a theme of things that have been collected from far and wide, all brought here, all with a kind of shades of purple and red just mixed in. Um, the place is very well decorated, and you can see she's there in a long gown, covered up and kind of tied nicely, her hair bound together in a large kind of bun at the back. Um, the slender Yuanti figure with these wide eyes just staring at you as the group of you enter. She sees Cal, and there is a moment of reflection as she kind of like sees him, wide smile across her face. Ah, Cal, it is good to see you again.
Yeah, hi. Uh, I love what you've done to the place. It looks amazing. Love the new couch. Very good pick.
That is very kind of you, but nothing has really changed since you were last here. Not in these
I
walls,
really
at
thought that was
least.
a new couch. Okay.
No, it is the same one. It gets cleaned regularly, but it is the same one. Um, what's well, you see, she kind of comes up and holds your hand. What brings you here?
We met a fan of yours. I think Helen has his letter.
You see, she rolls her eyes. Ah, another one. Is that what
No.
you came here for? Fan mail?
I believe his name was Cullen. Cullen.
Um, was this a young boy of the cusp of erudition? A little mage?
Yep.
Oh, it's very sweet of him. Sometimes you get customers that come in and they have a wide array of tastes and well, they wish certain things. But he was very sweet, very kind. He just wanted to talk, and we had a nice conversation. What is this letter? Or has he brought something else?
Um, here, give her the little package.
Hmm. She takes it and she begins to unravel and reads the note that's on it. Kind of reads it to herself. Ah, he's quite sweet. A lot of very sweet things in here. Oh, okay. You see, she kind of like holds the parchment quite tight. Well, that is very kind of him. Just 1 second, please. Could I ask for you just to stay here? I need to do something. I'll be no longer than 5 minutes.
All right.
Yeah, no, of course, of course.
Is
Um,
everything fine?
Yes, no, the Kulan is very generous. He gave me a scroll, an enchanted scroll that I've needed for a long time. It is for my partner. She is not doing very well, and well, this will help, hopefully.
Oh, is she ill?
Yes, she is suffering a parasitic curse. Unfortunately, her skin
Uh-huh.
is being taken away by a bacteria, but
If
nothing has been able to help her. But it seems like this might do the trick.
if the scroll doesn't, I could take a look if you would allow me to.
Yeah, Alicius is a doctor, so like he knows medicine and stuff.
Oh, okay, and then you can come with me. And you see, she
Okay.
doesn't go through the same entrance you guys came through, but instead these large curtains that cover the back end, draped over archways. You see, she goes behind one and pulls the curtain back and begins to enter it. It
As
seems
they're
like a hidden.
walking, by the way,
Mhm.
to there, Alicia's gonna like tuck in his sleeves into his gloves and maybe grab like a little handkerchief, something to put over his nose and mouth. But yeah,
Sure, yeah. As you begin to prepare this plague doctor sort of attire,
it's not plague doctor.
pulls
It's
out the
face.
mask.
No, it's just like this,
I know,
like
I'm
a
joking.
doctor, but
Um,
basic
you
sanitary.
head behind the scenes of her VIP suite, and you can see a hidden entrance. Something that isn't really on view. The thick curtains hide any light from going in or out. So this place is pretty much hidden. If you didn't know about it beforehand, um, you see a tunnel kind of leads down deeper into the boroughs of the city. Um, the walls are not as nicely carved as the rest of the establishment. It's like you're leaving the establishment altogether as you go further down into this cave system. Eventually, you see it opens up wider, and in there, you can see candle lights illuminating this very rustic sort of. It's very makeshift in its design, but that's almost the charm of it. You see this like large living quarters. You see a large bed. The bed itself looks beautiful, large, queen sized in a place that is damp and kind of slightly um, like growing fungus in areas that you probably wouldn't want to live in. Um, you are in this essentially like a cave system that has been retrofitted into being a living space. Bed, table, small kitchenette area with a large log fire. You're seeing all of this kind of down here, hidden away. And resting just next to the bed, you can see someone under the quilts. Um, and she begins to approach and kind of holds out the scroll and leans down. Licio, you see an individual laying there, a tiefling figure, young female, perhaps in their 30s or so, but you see there is this kind of large, almost burn mark across the side of their lower jaw, and the skin itself is almost like a puzzle piece where there are elements of it that just jagged out and jagged in, like elements have just been like fallen out. Um, her teeth is exposed, and you see the teeth themselves are slightly rotting as well. The entire part of her lower jaw is almost corroded, and you can see that going down to the side of her neck, and it seems to continue further down her arm. You watch as she approaches. She just begins to like whisper into her ear, "Don't worry, it's okay. I think I may have the solution for this curse that you have. Um, I will see if I can try and cite it. I don't really know. Um, Alicia, you can roll a medicine check.
Yup. She believe a necrosis is ugly.
Mm-hmm.
19.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
You begin to go over the elements of this kind of part of her body, and as you suspect it seems to be some type of necrosis. The elements of her skin have whittled away and have died completely, and it seems to just continue growing. Past her collarbone, you can see what looks like porous elements of the skin that are just kind of like hollow. Um, Something has been just deteriorating it outwards from the inside, and you see that's kind of like down her right arm, down her rib cage, and it seems like almost down her right hand side. With a 19, you suspect this is some sort of like it was directed. Not something that maybe ingested or kind of happened naturally through like circumstance or spread to different areas. It seems like it originated in one area and just began to grow across that space.
Like it originated in the body all of a sudden, like poof.
Not
Or
necessarily. It looks like I'll ask you to roll a Arcana check as well.
she believe 11.
Okay.
Who did she piss off?
It looks like something's hit against her and then has begun to corrode her. The best way I can describe it is as though like a spell has been flung against her body and has just slowly begun to deteriorate the side of it. Now, whether it was a spell or something else, it seems to be directed in her direction. So it wasn't something that just happened on her through circumstance. It was something applied to her with conviction. Someone did this to her purposefully enough. And you see it's rotting her from that side completely. There are elements of her body that have like wilted away and just fallen off, that just can't like withstand anymore. And she herself looks like she's almost comatose in a way. Her eyes are like in and out of focus. They're like half closed. And you can just hear like the faint breath coming in and out. Perhaps one of her lungs has also been whittled away and she's working off half a breath. But she's just laying there in this state. And you can see Braina's just holding the scroll in her hand, not shaking. She seems like quite a strong woman, but you can see that she's out of her depth in terms of this scroll, but is willing to give it a shot.
Alicia will help her if she seems to be struggling with reading anything or if he can.
Begin to unfurl the scroll. Well, do you know how to do these rites and rituals?
Do I DM?
Do you? It's up to you. What would you say your character can do?
I mean, if it's a cleric spell or something along those lines, he probably
It's greater
would know.
restoration. You probably would have cast lesser restoration, I assume.
Yeah. With great
So
restoration, that's like is that a 4th or a 5th level spell?
5th level, I believe.
Damn.
Yes. I'm gonna check just in case.
With a scroll, you can still cast it, but you as Alicia will not have any prior knowledge of the spell itself. You would know it exists, but you wouldn't have been able to cast it naturally. Whoever has a scroll can cast the scroll. Sometimes it needs an element of a roll. to see
Yeah.
if it goes through correctly or not.
I've cast something similar before. I could give it a shot if you have no experience.
Well, I've never cast a spell in my life, so it would best in your hands if you think you can do it.
I
And
will
it's
give it a
okay
shot.
if you cannot. I'll try and find another way if this doesn't work. It is very kind of Kulan to lend me his gifts.
It does seem very kind. I can give it a shot and see if it works.
Okay. And she hands you the scroll.
Mm-hmm.
So, with the scroll, I'm just going to double check to see what the ruling is on this because I can't remember off the top of my head.
Is
It's
it
been
like your
been a long
spell
time.
casting?
I don't know if it's your spell casting.
Because I feel like it depends on which spell it is.
Let me double check because it has been a while since anyone's cast a. Yeah, so it just becomes a DC save because this is a restorative spell. It doesn't need a roll necessarily, but what I will ask from you is just to roll a spell casting ability check anyway.
So my wisdom.
You've got those.
Yes.
You've got those.
Okay. If it doesn't work, I'll use my fucking little cape thing to roll it again. I'm gonna I'm gonna use my cape thing. Thank you. To reroll that. 15,
God.
which I think is
Right.
exactly the DC.
Well, there's no DC to beat.
There
Because
isn't?
again, no, because the way that it works is a spell, if it was an attack-based spell, the level of the spell would create a DC and it would give a plus to a hit. To cast the spell itself, you don't need to roll anything, I don't think.
I'm looking at the ruling right now.
Just take the win. Just
But
take the win.
I mean, I would have won anyways because it says the DC equals to 10 plus the spell's level, which would be 15.
Okay. Then you're fine. So, as you cast the spell, you see. How does this look like in your hands? You describe it to us.
I believe he again unfurls the scroll, starts reading it. His eyes glow a little bit, assuming the words, the text on the scroll itself. As this soothing starlight leaps out of the scroll towards the unnamed tiefling, trying to restore her.
Okay. And as that energy pulses from your hands, you see the elements of it almost cascade and break away into fragments of stardust. Almost like it leaves your hands and then explodes above the body and begins to lay itself on top with this smog of cosmic energy that just bounces back and forth with dancing lights. As it begins to enter and fill some of those gaps, you see that kind of darker element of the skin where it began to eat itself apart.
Mm-hmm.
The powder begins to settle and a brisk wind pushes past, and those corners, those edges, begin to flake away. Any of that dark tendencies, it does have to burn some of the skin away, so you are almost cauterizing areas of it. It doesn't completely heal over the wounds that were previously there, but the elements of the decay, the broken parts of her body begin to remove themselves of the impurities that were placed there. And you see now elements of healing are beginning to show. She can now begin to recover, but she's still in a state where she cannot do much. but the spell goes through.
I believe it has worked. The necrosis stopped at least, which means she can finally heal, but it's going to probably take a long time before she can be fully back to her normal self.
Hmm. She nods and acknowledges it, still not understanding the magic or the pseudoscience that's involved, and she just kind of leans down to the tiefling. Don't worry, Morgana, it's going to be okay. And she just gives her a kiss on the cheek. You are ever so brave. And she just kind of like rubs the side of her face, gently touching the element that's scarred, and just kind of presses it. Don't worry. Everything will be fine. Just rest and sleep.
You wish I could heal her a little bit, just to ease the pain.
If you think that will work, that would be. I would have nothing else to say. That would be so much.
I'll do like a first level healing word on her. I'll
Okay.
do I don't have cure wounds prepared. I'm just gonna do a healing word.
Sure thing.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Cal, if you could roll a history check whilst this is all going on, since you are.
Me
What do you
history.
Yeah.
Wait, Cal's with us?
Yeah. No,
Oh.
she
I thought
let
it was
everyone
only
come.
me.
No,
Oh,
because
okay, I didn't know.
you were coming through.
Cal's just been quietly supportive, has just been doing thumbs up whenever we've been doing anything. You're doing great.
Cal's just doing the Thor endgame sort of like thumbs up. Don't worry, everything's
Yeah,
fine.
it's just being supportive in the background. Yay!
I don't know what's going on. Great.
No, he has no
Before
clue.
as you've been working here, there has been a weekly occurrence that has happened in this establishment where Braina would have a day off. She would have a free day and she would not be performing. And on occasions, you would see her walking, talking, or schmoozing in private. It was always dedicated as her space, but sometimes you saw one person alongside. And that is this person here. And as you see them in this state, they are in a much worse state than what you last remember them. Before, they were full of life. There was almost a bubbly sort of energy to them. You would hear her laugh down the halls alongside Brainer as well, as the two of them would just be in the private room. These people had been seeing each other for months, if not years, but you'd not worked here for that long. But you get the tone. You understood that they were together. And everyone kind of like whispered and said things. And there were elements of that which were almost curious as to why Brainer chose to be with her. And the reason for that is because this woman, this tiefling, was a part of one of the families that used to be here.
Oh.
She was part of one of the 3 families that ran and governed Vesyl.
Mm-hmm.
With the history check of a 14, you're not sure which one she pertained to. But yeah.
Okay.
So can we kill the head of the family that's in the ruling right now, guys?
No! Do you want to die?
I want her to die because I think it's obvious that she did the spell.
How about instead, we find out if she knows that. No, we don't ask obvious questions because if she doesn't know that she survived, then we don't want to expose her. But like maybe she can live whatever the fuck is going on here. Maybe we can get her to do that. Well, you don't know, so
true. Alicia's been like writing down some things as they're like comforting each other, and he's gonna turn to Braina. I wrote down some things you could do to help her. recover.
Okay.
Give her about 2 to 3 weeks. Try to get her to sit up in that time at least. Um, Lots of food and liquids, of course. And a month in, if she regains a bit of strength, you're gonna want to try to get her to get up slowly. Maybe
Mhm.
take a few steps. Don't go too hard, but you know, we don't want her to lose the muscle she still has left. Um, and then take it day by day slowly. Mark the progress. Has she been conscious at all in the past few
Uh,
weeks?
I don't know. After it all happened, it's been quite a blur. But there have been moments where she's said things, but for the most part, she has been very quiet. Um, I think she perhaps is still shell shocked after it all.
Mm. Now, DM question. I
Hmm.
don't know if this would be a stretch. Do I have on me, or does it even exist in this world, anything
Hmm.
that's like anti-inflammatory, antibiotics, anything
Sure,
of that kind?
you have a medic's kit with you, or do you have? It would be in there, like salves and whatnot. You'd have that.
He's gonna give her like one bottle of antibiotic thing if she gets
Okay.
a fever or an infection, because you're gonna bandage up all the areas that are exposed. But if she does seem to show infection or a fever, just give her this until it goes down.
Okay. I tried to bandage them up before when the sickness was still there, and they just burned away.
Yeah, no,
Um,
not while it's active. That's gonna make it worse.
okay.
But now it should be fine, and make sure it's clean.
Okay. How do you know all of these things? Are you a doctor yourself?
I am still learning. I mean, you learn kind of all your life when you're a doctor, but
Well,
I studied almost all my life for this.
I don't see any learning here. This is knowledge that only someone who's done this for many, many years would know. Yeah, I'm very thankful.
Actually been wanting to travel and share this knowledge with people. Everyone should know these things. Just basics. So you don't have to rely on healing potions or magical solutions that may or may not be actually useful or could potentially even be harmful. And whoever did this to her is, I can see it was not an accident. It's horrible. You don't have to
No.
tell me, but as a
You,
doctor and a cleric, it's despicable.
you see, she kind of like brushes the hair of Morgana, and then eventually she'll just say, "Rest up, and we can leave her here. We'll just let her rest for a little bit, and we can discuss things back in privacy."
Of
And she
course.
just gives a kiss on her forehead, and the group of you are led back out. Um, Cal, if you could roll a perception check as well whilst you're down here. 25. You see there are two caves in this one cave that split out and seem to ascend and one descend. Um, these are potential exits and ways further into this mountainside as well. Um, from what you can understand on the geography and where you are, you would assume that the one that descends down heads further east. Further east, there is located the small port town that connects to Vesyl. Perhaps this is a secret entrance to that town, or at least somewhere that meets halfway. The other one seems to be a secret entrance, secret exit to the surface, perhaps in town or outside of Vesyl. You're not sure, but you kind of gather that they're here, and you have a rough idea of
Mhm.
where they would be above as well.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Led back to the VIP area. We're just going to jump to Olrin quickly. Olrin, you are still watching, still keeping an eye out on the brothel, and you can see pacing back and forth a large hulking Goliath, a fire Goliath, just arms crossed, staring at the brothel, and you can see the seething rage behind his eyes as he's just watching it. You've seen him previously escorting your party members when they had brushed you away because he was present. You see he is currently just completely mad dogging the guy at the front, the bouncer. He is just staring him down with daggers, and you are getting the sense that if this continues going on, this Goliath is going to go in, and he's probably not going to hold back.
No.
That's just what you get from this. Whether you wish to act upon it, it's up to you.
I'd like to approach, see what they're talking about at least.
Okay. You approach and begin to eavesdrop. You see the main bouncer, this elven figure, just kind of standing there. Are you just going to stand there all day and look at us? You know that you can't come in here. Your fucking boss signed a treaty with my boss, and none of you are allowed anywhere near the premises. So if you step closer or enter, then you are showing the rest of the people here that you aren't as lawful as you try to make yourselves, and that your word means fuck all. Okay? So you're going to stay there, big guy, and just fucking watch. And you see the Goliath is just gritting his teeth, and he begins to approach. You speak to me with very small margin of respect. Do you not remember what your city was like before my boss had arrived? You were scoundrels, you were scavengers, moving between the shadows to find the next penny, to steal that penny and try and buy something of your own. But you never bought. You only steal and take. Nothing was ever created by your hands. I do not see you as an equal to me. I do not see your boss as an equal to me. I will go as I see fit. And if they are not out in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to break your spine and go through the door myself, find your friends, and find your boss. And each one of them will suffer for your own ignorance and tongue. Okay. 10 minutes. I can make that work.
Yeah, we can make that work. Come on, just tell us that we have to get out. Pretty please.
Seeing as I'm not barred from entering, I would like to approach this seemingly oblivious to whatever's going on there.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Would you mind us going through? You're blocking the entrance a bit.
Turns around and looks towards you. He's going to roll a check. Okay. He looks at you and Tuco. I imagine Tuco's with you?
Yeah, I would assume he's standing pretty much exactly behind me.
Yeah,
This
trying
has
to
to be
hide.
like the weirdest pair going into a brothel. A priest and a frog.
But he does not know I'm a priest. He does know I am wearing heavy armor.
Yes.
No.
Well, they said
I-
bring protection, so.
Yeah, I was about to say, I always wear protection.
Jesus Christ. Always wear protection. Always wear protection. You see he turns, smolders, and looks you over. You wish to partake in grotesque acts of sin and lust?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been told a lot about this place. They said I should wear protection. So here I am. Trying to like fake a smile, showing it was my attempt at a diffusing joke.
Roll a deception check.
Oh my god.
No,
See, that's
no,
the
no.
like, what is he lying about? The joke or
You say it in such a cadence that just is suspicious. Like you have just this aura about you that you can say these things, but from the heart they're not there, and you're just like fumbling a little bit, trying to say these words.
go save him, bro.
No, it's gonna make it worse.
And how much are you willing to spend in there?
Well, I imagine they will tell me the prices, hopefully.
You see the guy at the bouncer, he looks over. Yeah, well, a dance is around 5 gold pieces. If you want a private show, then that's going to be a bit more expensive, maybe a platinum piece, depending on the dancer, but that's around the prices you're working with.
So do I pay you or?
No. You can pay the people inside. We'll get you inside. And he tries to pull you in, and you just watch as the Goliath just intercepts. How much are you willing to spend in there? Surely you have so much glee and prospects for entering that you are willing to put a fair amount of coin on the table. How much are you willing to spend?
Well,
You must know how much this gentleman is willing to spend before he enters your establishment, surely. Because why let him in if he is penniless?
I suppose I would spend anywhere between 5 gold pieces if the show is rubbish and platinum if, you know.
You know.
Admittedly, it's my first time in this kind of establishment, and I was not expecting 2 bouncers.
You don't say that this is your first time here. I can see. No to Vesyl?
Yes.
Did you arrive soon?
Well,
did you arrive with some others that had entered here?
Well, yeah, and I step aside. A friend of mine is with me.
Don't worry. You can stay out here with me.
I much prefer to spend my time inside.
Your friends will be out shortly.
My friend
And
is
we
out
can-
currently. A state that we intend to rectify.
Well, then head inside.
Thank you. And I guess I head inside.
You head in. And as you walk through the door, Tuco following in your shadow, trying to be quiet. You see he looks down and sees Tuco, and the two of you enter. And he looks at the bouncer. You have 1 minute. And you see he kind of like opens his eyes. Okay, you got it. He just begins to run in. As he enters the door, closing it behind with the Goliath outside, he talks to you, Ulrin. So we only have a minute, so do you know Cal?
Can I roll an
insight check?
Insight check.
Sure.
Lock the doors.
I don't really expect this guy to not sell out Cal.
Mm-hmm. With a 25, you can see that this guy is definitely flustered. He knows not to mess with the new guards in town, and he is trying to understand the situation of your relationship with the people that he was just with a minute ago. And as well, it seems like he knows Cal. He talks about him. He uses his nickname. There is almost this friendship, and his expression is quite, please say yes, kind of look to himself.
Yes, I do. I'm here trying to have him not get killed or something. I don't
Okay, good.
want him wound up again.
Yeah, me too. So I'm going to go and get them before the big guy comes in and breaks my spine and the rest of everyone else in here. So I'm just going to go and see them. If you need to come with me, then let's go now. And he just begins to walk through.
Let's go. As we walk through I don't particularly know the guy, so I assume he's dangerous, but is he dangerous if we bring Cal to him?
So the guy outside, the Goliath, the big...
Yes.
Big guy? Yeah, well, they were currently before escorted by this guy, and he was told to keep an eye on them, but none of them can come in here. But this guy just threatened that, and I'm not going to go against his wishes.
Just
Just
making sure I'm not delivering Cal to some execution commando.
Well, we'll find out when we see him. And he just leads you around the back end of the brothel here. Now, we jump back to the others. As you arrive back upstairs, you see Brainerd begins to just kind of go over everything. Sorry, I did not want to discuss things with Morgana present. It is all still quite fresh.
Understandable.
This sickness that she had was caused by the new leader of this place.
Oh, God damn it. I was afraid you were going to say that.
Yes,
So-
it is.
Like, is that an ability she has? Kill people like, or curse people like that? Because that's scary.
Well, no, it was. Well, I don't really understand what it is, but I remember hearing a large explosion, and to take it back one step, the three families they were brought together to discuss how to move forward past their grievances of each other. On that same night, as they met at the main spire at the end of the city, an explosion had gone off, and all of them had perished, except for Morgana, who was able to find her way into the caves and, well, found my little hideout. She was not in a good state, and all I could hear from her was, "They're all gone, they're all dead." All of her family, everyone had perished in the explosion, as well as the other 2 families. It was a massacre, and I never thought that Maeve would have it in her to do something like this. Quite treacherous and deceiving from your own flesh and blood. I don't understand how people can do something like this. To hurt their own
Me.
sister like this is... I don't know.
So
is
I'm
horrible.
assuming Maeve isn't aware her sister's still alive?
She has been boasting. She has been reveling in the demise of every member of the families. I've made it my duty to ensure that she does not know.
Yep.
And now, with things getting worse here, I don't know how far I can hold this secret. I want to leave, but this is also my home, and all of my boys and girls here that work. I have a responsibility, a duty to help them, and I cannot leave. But I cannot let Morgana stay here if she gets found. The only reason that this place is a sanctuary is that there is a little sliver in Maeve that saw Morgana's love for this place, for me. An ounce of respect, but I don't know how long that will even last.
Alicia's gonna pull Cal aside for a second and kind of lean in. Could we get her out?
I mean, theoretically, but we're not exactly going to a much safer place. I mean,
Well, we
we're
don't
going
have
to a
to bring
place
her
full
along with
demons.
us. We could at least get her outside of the city and then
But
send
have to
her
get her-
elsewhere.
Well, she's not exactly in a state of travel by herself. We would have to accompany her to wherever we think is safe. I mean, there is that adventurous thing, the cherry picked apples or something. Maybe they'd take her in. They're supposed to be like goody two shoes,
we
and they're
could
sort of on the way to the shard.
Perhaps we could hire someone to take her to some sort of temple, somewhere where she can be surrounded by healers that could help her.
I mean, I think the nearest for that would be Transolar, which we just traveled away from. I don't think Richter would be a fan of us backtracking.
No, I meant we can go to that guild and hire someone else to transport her.
Oh yes, we can absolutely do that.
Turns back to Brena. I don't know if you would trust us with this. We've just met, I mean, at least you and I, but we could give her a shot of getting her outside of the city and transporting her to Trasvalar.
You see, she begins to think about it. As she begins to say something, you see bursting through the door is the bouncer, as well as Olrin and Tuco follow behind. Okay, everyone, I'm sorry to interrupt discussions, but the big angry guy outside, he's threatening to break down the door if you guys don't leave now. Been in here a little too longer for his liking.
Yeah. Right.
Think on it.
Really sorry. I really didn't mean to cause trouble. Yeah. We'll be in touch or something. Right. Out. I don't want anyone to get hurt. Too many
It was
people
nice
have already
meeting
gotten
you.
hurt today.
Yeah,
I hope she recovers.
Thank you for everything. As she begins to leave, she's just kind of left there to ponder and think of a decision to be made. You are escorted by is and reunited with Ulrin and Tuco.
I am going to
days.
suggest that Tukadoran stay in here, but okay, wait, no, okay, that's in character. Right, you guys should stay in here. I don't think they know you know us, so why are you in here? You're in a brothel. That's sort of funny. Sorry.
Yeah, I
don't-
tried to
I don't
sneak in
know.
here very unsuccessfully, and I'm pretty sure I made the guy out there not only suspicious, but more angry.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay, right. Let's just. Well, if so, does he know that you know us? Does he know? Do you think?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's no part. Well, you're also sleeping at at Maeve's place. Then welcome. You can join us. Let's go. Let's just go outside.
Then we have to share a room with her.
Oh well, we're gonna have to say like hi and then maybe eat dinner with her or something. But we're just not gonna say anything, okay? Just not gonna say any word. And just be super respectful and then get out of here tomorrow. And then when we get out of here tomorrow, we can tell somebody and then they can come and solve this. And we can just leave tomorrow, right? Okay? Sweet. Let's do that.
I don't know. I mean, how many people will have to live like this until somebody else comes along?
Yeah, a lot, but we aren't the ones who are going to change that. At least not right now. Not when they know exactly who we look like and what our name is. Please. Also, we need to get outside now. Let's talk about this a bit later, okay?
Fine.
Yes, but I agree with Alicio. I've spent an awful lot of time on the marketplace, and it's rather horrible.
Yeah, I know that it sucks, but we can't do anything.
No, but that
Not the five of
attitude,
us, not
nice
against
one.
an army.
Listen,
Yeah, we
we
go
don't have
outside.
to fix the whole problem, but we can do small things, Cal.
Yeah, like get someone to
Not
help
just
Morgana, but
leaving.
right.
Just walk out.
Mhm.
Seems a bit pissed.
Okay.
Maybe even a little bit at Cal.
Yeah, that's expected.
Okay. You head up back to the main entrance, where you can see the door is being opened. You can see the Goliath looking in and beginning to step through. And he just gestures.
Hi, we're back. Sorry to keep you waiting. Also, we met our friends who were also inside the brothel, also looking to deliver that letter. And now we're back outside.
It is getting past your bedtime. I think it is best that we head back to the household.
Yep.
And he comes back out of the door and waits for the rest of you to join him.
Gonna walk out. As we're walking, by the way.
As you leave the building, you see Iz just kind of like subtly look towards you guys, and he try and mouths discreetly. Let's see if he's okay. He looks over towards Cal. I'll come and I'll try and find you. I'll try and find you, and then we can. Look.
Wow, I love hearing all this. I can't wait for the people on YouTube watching this and be like, why is my audio gone all of a sudden?
So as you
Anyways.
are,
But as we're walking down, by the way, Alicia wants to observe the Goliath to see if he has any weak points, any little.
Sure, you can roll an investigation check.
All right.
physically, he is intimidating. You can see heavy scars across exposed arms. He's wearing this heavy breastplate in the center of his chest. There is a helm that almost recoils backwards like a carapace and holds itself in the neck formation. And you see it can pull down into this almost like armored helmet, which he hasn't had to put on yet. He himself walks with a stride of a man with confidence, someone who is confident in their abilities and holds no sort of fears. No, you are struggling to see any weaknesses that they may have, especially
If I
when you're only
cough
seeing
really
them.
hard in his direction. No, I'm kidding.
He sees a bug on the ground. Oh, no, I hate bugs.
You see, in a week's time, he'll get a nasty cold.
Yeah. Unfortunately, with a 9, you just don't really see any sort of weak points that he may have. As you are walking, he does stop and turns to the rest of you. I heard there was another with you, human. Where are they?
Good question. We have no fucking idea where he is, right, DM?
You have no idea where Richter is.
He wanted to park the other snails, and then he was not there anymore. And he was with them last, so you should ask. Well, technically. Yeah, he just told us to go after the other snail, which we did, so. Yeah, and then your boss found us.
Alicia's gonna give Cal a look of shut the fuck up right now.
What? Okay.
Well, I will make sure to leave a space open for him for when we do find him and bring him to where he belongs. But until then, I hope you enjoy your stay at my leader's beloved home. She has done quite a nice job at decorating the place. And
With body parts?
he looks at you. Is that a joke? Are you trying to be funny?
No, that was a genuine question.
Quite observant. There are elements of that, yes. My favorite is the Throne of Skulls.
that was a joke, right? There's not really a throne of skulls.
If you're
Not edgy
lucky,
much.
perhaps you could, well, be a part of the chair.
No, thank you. Okay.
Alicia's just glaring at this guy.
Is there a problem?
I don't find violence amusing.
What do you find amusing?
Books?
You find knowledge amusing.
Very.
Well, I think you will learn a few things while you are staying there.
I know quite a few things about bones, don't worry.
So you know the rumors.
Oh no, I can name every bone. He starts naming every single bone.
He seems a bit impressed.
Yes.
You continue and eventually find a very well-guarded, posted area where it is almost like a fortification was made. Not one that was here previously, something that was built on. You see large walls with the same sort of ballista atop of them, 4 in fact, 2 that point inwards and 2 that point outwards. There is a large courtyard in the center, and beyond it you see a beautiful large building that has been dressed now in red stains that drip down from the top and decorate down and have filled certain areas with this almost acrylic sort of color scheme at the bottom, resembling like pools of blood to the left and the right that have gathered and created lakes, but it is hardened like clay. And you see people kind of just hovering over them. They're hovering because they are being held up and chained and left there dangling from different areas and points across their body. One of them is dead, one of the 8, but they're just being left there to be picked over by the crows. The main entranceway is open, and he just begins to guide you inside. And you can see by the entranceway, waiting there with a kind of drink in his hand, the previous guard that you had seen, the Fire Ganassi Fear, just looking as you approach and drinks and kind of puts it down to the side. Welcome to our humble abode. Please enter. You're more than welcome. And take your shoes off as you come in.
Thank you.
Are you guys hungry?
Not particularly.
Well, then first I'll show you to your rooms, and you can tell me a bit more about yourselves. As I see you've grown in numbers. And he looks over towards Olrin and Tuco. But there's one missing. And he looks at the Goliath, and you see the Goliath nods. Find him. And the Goliath heads off and leaves the group of you there, now with fear, to guide you through this large mansion. Where we're going to have a quick break, since we are about the halfway point.
Yay!
So we'll have a quick break,
Yay.
5 minutes or
Oh,
so,
man.
and then we'll be back as more fun is to be had. Definitely more.
Right.
So see you in a bit.
Ew.
Bye.
Right.
Okay,
Uh,
we're back. So, as we return, the party have just entered the home of the new leader of Vesyl, the city of lawlessness, inverted commas. You entering this place, you can see that it's retrofitted. There is an element of this. It's not a mansion. It's not like that. It's like walking into a castle that is in the same sort of tones as I was kind of describing earlier, that this place was built on but top of something else. There's something else here, something other sort of design architecturally that was used and then built on top of. So you see elements of older stone, you see elements of like broken elements, and here and there patina that is rusted, and all sorts of things to show that there has been a lot of age that's taken place here. But there's also a lot of new stuff as well. You can see just all sorts of ornaments, items, sharp, strange, and just almost barbaric natures and depictions of just life in general. Some of it's abstract, some of it's very realist. And you see Fear is currently guiding you through and then leads you upstairs to the second floor. As you're walking alongside, you can see that there are guards in this building. You see that there's guards stationed at the bottom floors. You can see guards stationed on the top floors, walking stationary. They're both kind of free flowing through this place. And because you are new guests, you see that a couple more are probably following you and keeping an eye out on every movement that you make. As he is leading
Have
you through
we
here.
asked to surrender our weapons, or
No, you
are
still
they
have
happy
everything
to
on you.
just keep? Oh,
He's
okay,
just asked you to take your shoes off.
the thing. Yeah. Okay.
Um, as he's walking along up the stairs,
Did he
Oh.
take his shoes off?
no, he's still got shoes on.
What the fuck?
Hypocrite! Wow.
his home.
Hypocrisy.
Yeah, so? With your dirty ass
Holy
shoes.
fucking hypocrisy.
As he's leading up the stairs, he'll just turn around. So, how many of you have been to Vesyl before? Cal, I
Looks
know
like
you
them.
have. Anyone else?
Never been.
Never
Crickets.
been. First time for many of you. Well, in recent time, this place has been under the control of the houses, as you've probably heard, and Cal's probably explained to you. But before then, this place was a sanctuary. This entire city, this building, everything that you can see that is old and decrepit and left behind, was a place of worship. But not to gods. No, no, no. They don't do that here. You see, they pray to something of a higher power, something of the world itself. As he's leading you through, you see at the top of the staircase, there is a large mural that is broken in areas that mean it's slightly missing pieces to complete the picture. But where the missing pieces are, someone has painted and continued some of the depiction. And what you see is through clouds, a very sort of Mayan, Aztec-y looking design of a huge, gargantuan, serpentine creature that is in and out of the clouds, mainly of red scales and skin. The body itself seems to warp and continue further in the depiction and almost comes back on itself in areas where you never know how large, long, or impressively the scale, its true scale is. Seeing this depiction, you can roll religion checks if you want to, but he will pretty much tell you what it is. You see, he gestures to it. Well, the people here are the acolytes. They believed in this Kurthean immortal, one that is known as the Storm Leviathan, Dormirion. It would fly through the skies and wrap itself around the world, comprised of the elements of cloud and lightning. It would be a terror to everyone who would ever set foot near the mountainside, and even now you can see some of the remnants of it, cascading down through the Howling Mountains. With the 12 on the religion check, you see the depiction of it, and you know that these Corthana mortals have been kind of entombed, hidden away, because they are forces of nature. There are many of them. There are some major ones, and there are some lesser ones. They are everywhere. They are the ground, they are the sea, they are the sky, they are everything that comprises the world itself. They are born through the need of the world to fight back whatever is plaguing them. And the Mirian themselves is one that is seen as a very twisted, kind of natured creature, one that would smite down with clouds of lightning onto cities and cause them to almost disappear into dust just through torment and anger. These Corthana mortals aren't prayed to directly. They aren't a god to put your worship into because they are seen as almost a foul entity, one that opposes deities. And they are seen more as a just cause and effect of the world. That's all you can get on a 12. There's nothing more, unfortunately.
At least you're not likey.
Wherever this sky serpent would go, a gust of wind that'll blow away even the mountains themselves into the skies would follow. When you walk across or near the Howling Mountains, that breeze, that wind that flows, that is Demirion, sleeping, breathing. These creatures are never dead. They cannot die. So instead, there are places like this that entomb them and keep them protected from outsiders. But unfortunately, Vesyl have completely forgotten that aspect of it. And this information was lost to history. And that's why we're here. We're here to make sure that this grievance, this forgotten piece of the world, stays intact. You look at us and see barbarians, foul-natured. We kill, we slaughter. This is just our nature. This is what we grew up with. Life is different for you and us. I see the way that you look, perceive us. The same happened to the people here. And well, we're people just like you. We're all the same. We just act on our inner feelings and make sure that there is a respect that is maintained. That is why I wanted to invite you here into our home to bridge that gap. Because the old guard is gone. And for people like Cal, who remember what it was, it ain't that. It's changed. And I want to ensure you that change is good. And well, you can hear this from the mouths of my beloved as well. But here are your rooms. And he gestures to this just large open space. where the mural of this serpentine creature just continues on into the rooms and paints the walls and the ceiling, and the tail itself just goes off into another room. You've been given a room to yourselves. There is bedrolls in place, nothing lavish, nothing opulent or built up, but functional, comfortable enough for your stay. The space is big enough for all of you to accommodate, with enough space as well to move around. You're not tight or compact. This area perhaps was an altar at one point, where any religious iconography to this deity, this Corthena mortal, has now been taken away or lost or stolen. You can just see like the relief of where some sort of item would have been on display, but it is missing. Get yourselves comfortable. We'll be having dinner in 5 minutes downstairs. I'll see you down there. And he'll leave you to it.
What a
You all
prick.
alone?
Right.
The usual.
This is the usual.
No, not how I meant it. People who do such atrocities always justify themselves. But they are true to their nature or some sort of that.
His justification holds no water, in my opinion.
It certainly doesn't.
This whole place is... I don't have the words.
Yeah, it's really fucking scary. It didn't used to be like this. It used to be
It
fun.
shouldn't be. This is why I have to do something, Cal.
I get that, but what are we realistically going to do without dying?
Well, I have to try at least something.
I mean, do we though? We can just leave. This seems above our pay. We're not even being paid for this. We are on a job. We should be focusing on doing that job.
What do you think will happen to your friends back at the brothel?
You hear a knock at the door. You see Fear pop his head back. Oh, just one other thing. We also have more guests joining us for dinner. Just so you're aware. And he leaves.
Great, thanks. They have some sort of agreement. They're being protected by something. Goodwill or something. If we can just, not piss her off and not let her know what we know, then there's no reason for them to be in danger.
The Goliath was threatening them at the entrance. I don't think their agreement holds water.
But we have no means to get in it. They're like, how many people work at the brothel? It's like more like 20, more like 30?
There'll be a fair amount. There'll be a fair amount, probably around 30, yeah. That's why she feels
Oh,
so
holy shit.
strongly tied to them. The reason for that is because you
Yeah.
have people who work there, people who do kind of different shifts. So yeah, it's upwards of 30. It's going to be around 40, 50, if anything.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. How are we going to transport 40 people out of a city
not
without being
saying-
caught?
Transport them. It's not just about them, Cal. It's this whole city.
In fairness, Alicio, a big part of the city is in on it.
I know, but at least the ones who aren't in on it should be given a chance, Oren.
I agree.
I mean,
But
no
let's
one's
go into
keeping them
county.
here. Most of them
Really?
are here willingly.
Do you really think that?
Yeah. I mean, did you see them? They were thriving. I mean, even before these assholes came, Vesyl wasn't exactly the most law-abiding place. Most people here aren't innocent.
I don't understand how you can just run away from things.
For now, let's calm down and see what we can do. Charging in head first and dying is not going to help them either.
Don't say that to me.
So let's concentrate on staying alive and do what good we can.
Fine. Let's find out as much as we can, at least. Information is important in a place like this.
Besides, I think we should get to that dinner. His mention of the extra guests was ominous at best.
It really was.
All right. Don't think I can really stomach anything, but let's get going.
Yeah, it's probably not a bright idea to eat something, actually. We should probably avoid eating what they give us. But that would be rude, and we don't want to be rude.
Well, if push comes to shove, I can cure poisoning.
Oh,
But let's try to not
yay.
at the same time, otherwise we're all on the ground.
Okay. So you guys head down to dinner?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So, as you head down to dinner, you begin to hear music playing downstairs. Sounds
Great.
like a orchestra of maybe about 6 string-based instruments kind of working in tandem together. Soft kind of tones, some almost like wincing sort of sounds as the strings like every so often just peak. But you head down the stairs. You can see the guards behind you just watching as you meet the second pair downstairs. You follow the sound of music and eventually find this large dining area where you can see another depiction of this sky serpent is being painted above into the ceiling. The head looks down, and instead of an actual painting, it's almost a 3D sculpture where the head is pushed forward, and you can see almost like a twin bisected areas pushed forward, a jaw at the bottom that hinges, and then a second one that pushes at the front, whereas the eyes are placed on the side of the head. The body itself live and wriggling up and coiled on itself, and then just extending into the ceiling, into all manner of directions. You see the table, large, well presented, candles illuminating, no lighting on the walls or anything like that, just on the table. To the left, you can see a large window that looks out on the rest of the city. There are elements where you just see the walls, but this was perhaps a looking out point to see the rest of the Howling Mountains at one point. And now the purpose is almost lost completely. By it, you see 12 people standing, some playing instruments and some waiting. All of them the same Fire Ganassi guards that you've been seeing around, all playing the instruments. Very well presented, very well played, as though this is their craft and they practice and practice. There is no faults in how they operate. On the table itself, you see there are several seats. There are seats that are empty and there are seats that are filled. You have a section for yourselves at the table. you are slightly spread out. There are 3 chairs together, and there are 4 that are separated. Where would you guys like to sit? If you have any questions on the seating arrangement, it's fine as well.
Yeah. What do you mean by like separated?
So, large singular table. At the very
Mhm.
end of the table is the head, which is already taken up by someone. And there are 3 seats to their left that are together. You'll be looking at opposite people, and then the other 4 seats are separated at the end, mix match with people in between them.
Alicia's gonna lean towards the others and just say, sit close to me.
Oh, who's it?
Right. Wait, who do you want close to you? Like, we can't all sit together. There's not enough chairs.
At least you and Oren.
Right. Okay. Helen, can you protect Tuko? Yeah, please protect Tuko.
Yes, I'll be sure to protect Tuka, don't worry.
Oh, thank you, Helen.
He's just kind of like, doesn't like this place at all.
He has a baby chair set up for him.
Yeah,
You know.
he just kind of sits in it.
This is nice.
You take your seats, and as you grow closer to sit down, you see at the head of the table is a very similar presented as the woman that you saw in the bed earlier that you healed, Alicio, a dark blue skinned tiefling with red paint down the cheeks, and the same fashion as the rest of these Fire Ganassi guards here, but inverted colors. She herself has the dark blue skin and red paint. They have the opposite, reddish skin with blue paint across their faces, to represent that they are of the same sort of guild, or at least of the same workforce. She is wearing a long, elegant dress. Her hair is long past her shoulders, and she is quite skinny, quite lively in sort of her shapes, and she kind of sits down as the rest of you join. Her horns stretch backwards and come to a point. One of them is slightly melted, the other one just completely intact. Almost like a candle wick has just lost the ends of its life. That's at the end of your 3 seats, and between the rest of your party members, you see the Fire Ganassi Fear, who was there before and brought you here. He is situated, so they're basically pincering the 3 of you, one on the left and one on the right. As you all take your seats, you see Fear just gestures to you. My love, this is the group that I previously mentioned. Those who cause a slight ruckus in your city. We have... Please, introduce yourselves.
Who's gonna go first?
He'll point for
Hi.
Felicia.
Really
Okay.
sorry.
Alicia.
He'll gesture to the next person. Whoever wants to go next.
Yeah. Sorry for the ruckus. My name's Cal. Really sorry for the damages to your city.
And he gestures to the final one, Oren, as well as the rest of your group as well. Do you share your name, Oren?
You're muted, Arnie.
Dun dun dun.
The classic. Yeah, stab him down. Oren.
By the way, Oren, you don't have to hide your symbol here. You're fine to represent Moradin in this house. Do not feel like you have to hide that.
I push my sigil to the forefront again.
He gestures over to the others, and you see,
My name is Tuko. Hello.
and then Helen addresses herself. I am Helen. Nice to meet you. Lovely place. And see, he kind of nods at all of you. The one at the head of the table, the feminine figure, she'll stand up and give a curtsy. I am Maeve. A pleasure to meet each one of you. Thank you for joining us at this lovely dinner. It's been a while since we've had guests. Guests of honor, mind you. Fear has specifically chosen all of you. This isn't a normal occurrence. It's also nice.
What an honor. Yeah, thank you for the invitation.
I heard that Cal, you've been here before.
Yes, but that was before the change in authority, so I'm still adapting, getting used to the new situation at hand. But it's quite interesting what you've done with the place.
How do you like the changes?
Well, there's less hiding. It's like I said, it's interesting. It's not something you typically see.
I understand it's quite a change, so don't worry. You can voice your opinions. There won't be any malice towards you for them. And I ask that each one of you speak openly tonight. There's no need to hide any certain feelings that you may have. I know it's very different to what you're used to. And I can sense that already there are tensions. What you want won't be punished for them, not like you would be outside of these walls. This is a place of open speech.
Then I'll speak plainly.
Of course you can, Ulrin.
I've been here for merely a day, and I've seen people killed, bartered off, speared to the ground, threatened. This is no order. This is just tyranny.
That's right. You're not wrong. You see, when I came here first and saw what they were doing, I was ashamed of what my family had done. This place was much worse. It was lawless. There was no control. These people made me sick. And I could see their filthy hands getting in the way and causing chaos. I understand now that it seems quite barbaric and brutal, and I admit it is. But these methods work, and it takes time to change them. They are a necessary culling.
You truly think this is how it looks when it's working?
Mind you, a few more months, and it would look much better. But you're right. I don't sugarcoat it. I'm putting in a law of my own. This is my city. There are no jurisdictions here outside of what I say. That is how this works. It may be a hostile takeover, but it's mine. There is no one to disrupt it. I have the power I have the influence, and I can make it as I see fit. I can change everything with a snap of my fingers. I can make an order to tear down this entire city, burn it to the ground, and make a new one if I wanted to. But I value the people here. They are a possibility for better things. At the moment, they need to be proved and worked to become better.
And Ben, what is your grand vision?
Well, my grand vision. So nice of you to put it that way, because it is quite a vision. Well, I look to branch out and get external help, and that's why they're here. And he gestures to the other side of the table. Fear wasn't the only one that brought guests. I brought some of my own, some that had come to me with a proposition which I wanted to hear. And she gestures to them. Please introduce yourselves, as the rest have. See, one kind of looks over, and you see a almost like bluish skin that is blanched white in some areas. A fold of hair that goes over to one side. Bright pink dorsal fin that is only typical to tritons and creatures of the deep. You see a middle-aged man who is weathered, beaten, slightly skinny and short in stature, sat down, but this bright fin just kind of like holds over one eye, and he stands up. Good eye. My name's Gilgamesh. Pleasure to meet all of you. As he introduces himself, you see the next person stands up. The person by them, you see, is a humanoid individual, but their complexion is completely silver. Their face is like a mask. It's been attached to it. And you see their features move and shift. Their eyelids move alongside the silver mask that wraps around their face and goes past and down their black sort of attire that they have on. And I am Dippler. Pleasure to meet all of you.
Swear to God, Cassie!
Two of them stand up and introduce themselves and then sit back down. Propositions like this that I'm looking forward to. And that's why Fear thought it might be interesting for you to join this meeting too. Because you are fresh blood. You are
Right.
new to the city. And thus, perhaps a proposition could be made. I'm looking for allies.
I don't think we can. I don't think we can offer anything of value here. I'm not sure we're the right people to be approaching, but we don't really have any influence or anything. I don't think we're much of a help.
Well, I'm sure you can be. And you see she gestures to your necklace that you, Ulrin, and Helen wear. I recognize that make from anyone. And that's why you were quite interesting to this discussion. Because Aiden Hassar has not been seen for a long time. How is the old bastard anyway?
Who?
Roll a deception check.
We found this thing on the road.
At disadvantage.
Try, okay? I might as well fucking try. 14!
Not bad.
You have
It's a
disadvantage.
+0, okay? God fucking damn it!
Roll higher.
No.
Fuck!
you say that so coy, and you just see Wrath look over in your direction. Cal, please be truthful. There's no need to lie here. We all know of Aiden Hassar.
Right. Okay, I just felt it was in my employer's best interest, to not admit that he's our employer. He's doing not so great. Yeah.
Well, that's a shame to hear. Why's that?
He's found himself in a bit of a situation. He made some sort of deal that he can't get out of. It.
I am kicking Cal under the table.
I want to make it clear. Cal's
Oops,
talking about,
sorry,
as far as
dropped
you
the
know, the
fork.
actual Hussar. So he's not talking about the guy that hired them, but the actual guy, Max. Max knows what I'm talking about. That's
I
okay.
understand.
Alessio doesn't. He thinks you're acting out your employer.
Me.
So he's in a little bit of a pickle then.
Yeah.
Well, perfect timing. Because I can help. I have power and influence. I can help your employer, as you put it. And she looks over to Gilgamesh and Diplor. As I can help you. We can all help each other get what we want. We don't have to rely on other parties. You see Gilgamesh nod. Well, if that's what you want. You're in a bit of a pickle. There's people saying that you're different. Just a slight change in who you are. Why is that? Why are you so different? Time changes everyone. And, well, I want to get away from my uncle. I hope you can understand that. But that's not going to be an easy job. Your family business runs quite deep. And I hear that you're making quite a strong headway through it all. So I think you can help with that too. I could. That's for sure. But these negotiations go both ways. What is it you can do for me? Well, let's not think about it that way. You've seen what I've accomplished here. There were 3 very influential families that took over, some even my own blood, and just like that, they're all gone. And now we have control. I have armies. I have influence. No one will get in the way of what Fear has built. He has a reputation, after all. You need something done. It will get done. And that goes for the same with Aiden Hassar. You know, it's been so long since I've heard that name, and when I was told that these little amulets were seen, I asked someone to look into them. And well, what are they containing? What are they trying to contain?
I don't know. He just gave us these and said that they would glow when they spot something important. They haven't glowed yet, so apparently there's nothing in the city that is of interest to him. So, like, yay.
You see Diplo, the silver masked man, speak up. So, if you're finding something, what is that something?
I don't know.
Your
Like,
silence
we just
speaks 1,000 words.
how?
I'm afraid that what we're doing depends on discretion. We can't tell you much until it's done.
Well, I think we've been all quite open, no?
Have you?
Well, I work for Gilgamesh, and Gilgamesh is working his way through the crime syndicate. That's quite a big thing.
Yeah.
Not many people know that. There's a secret. So, what are you willing to share?
Preferably nothing.
Well, I don't know how this is going to work out. He looks over towards Fia and Maeve. You asked us to come here with propositions and help you. We are looking for that too. I don't see why they have to be here.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, me neither.
Well, they're here because we have questions. Aiden Hussar, these amulets that you have, this grand mission that you're on. What's all this for? Aiden Hussar has not been seen in decades. He's a fucking myth. Doesn't exist. But only old crones know who he is. And he's acting. A previous member of your syndicate. He looks over towards Gilgamesh. So what's he doing now? Why has he decided to put himself on the chessboard? What's this grand plan of his? Because for us, that seems quite important. We don't want
He's
any
not on
lines
any
crossing.
chessboard. He's not on any chessboard, like Sir Gilgamesh, whatever you're doing, he's not involved in any of that. I will swear to any gods you want me to swear to. He is not interested in what you're doing with your crime syndicates. He doesn't care about, even if he, like you said, was part of one. He's not interested in that anymore. He does not care. I can assure you that he's just not interested in whatever game of chess you're playing. He doesn't care.
Then that's fine. Just tell us what he's doing.
See it this way. If he was going to do anything that gets him involved with you, why would he hire us? You should know by now that we are not particularly interested to work with you. But we, unlike most of the city, have morals.
So you're saying there can't be an arrangement that is met?
Looking
How well
around,
do you
seeing
know
what
this?
you've done, I doubt I want to help you with what you're going to do.
Just a second, Owen. How well do you know this? Aiden Hussar.
My father spoke very highly of him, and so did my uncle.
Very powerful, then.
Yes. But human.
And we all are in some way. So I don't think he would be quite pleased with us telling information we don't know we're allowed to say. Would you be willing for him to be on your bad side? I would think you would want him as an ally in whatever game of chess you're playing.
Roll a persuasion check.
No.
Wait, can I let me check how many times I can do the fucking thing. I am so blind. Where is it?
Why the fuck does this guy's fucking past invoke issues everywhere we fucking go? And why didn't he just warn us about any of this? Why didn't he tell us, oh, you know, by the way, maybe hide that you're working for me because I have a bad fucking reputation.
Is this in my inventory or is this... Ah, it is in my inventory. My bad. I was looking at...
I'm going to...
Oh, equal to my proficiency modifier. Thank you, God, aka Max. Thank you. I'm going to reroll that. Yes. Thank you, nice God. Thank you.
Well, I don't want to get on anyone's bad side.
Surely. Bad for the business.
Of course. But the same can be said for you. Without a business proposition to be made, what's to say you're not going to be on my bad side? I need an agreement. I'm trying to make allies. I'm here with an offering. I will give my services in order to make friendships. These don't have to last forever, but we are building towards something.
If you're trying to build this on threats, it's not going to hold up anyway.
The same can be said for you. You have just invoked his name and used the boogeyman status that he has as a way to deter me from making business.
Simply a friendly advice.
Then I share the same. You are in my home, where we can all speak truthful, but as soon as you leave that wall, I can't help you.
How about this? May you give us time to at least check in with him before we both do anything foolish that could get us on his bad side? I have ways of contacting you later on, and I will.
That could be possible. A meeting with the Aiden Hussar could be a very good prospect moving forward.
I don't know if I can get you a meeting.
Well, that's fine. But a river blue is always by their word, right? So, I expect you to come with results.
Oh my god, she knows your dad.
Or my mom.
How's
That's
not
her
so-
last name.
Oh, okay. Cal did not say that, but that was me. Just to make sure.
He kind of just gives her a look, leans back, crosses his legs. We do keep our word, yes.
Well, then I guess there's no need for discussions here, if I'll be talking to your employer. We may enjoy our meal here then. And Gilgamesh and Diplo, we may discuss business later. But please, enjoy the fine meal here. And we'll let you set off in the morning. By the way,
Can I see if she's being honest doing that sentence? by
sure,
the
you
way?
can roll an insight check.
Yeah, I'd like to.
You see, she just says, also, I heard the tragic event of your mount. Do you need another? As a courtesy.
No, thank you.
Okay. You, with an insight check of 18, the 15 doesn't see it. The 18, you see that she has been analyzing each one of you this entire time. And those who have not spoken, you see that she's made a mental check, a note. As well, she holds a very strong poker face. The reason for it is because you can almost see behind the eyes of a cool, cold, calculated person that there is a mind that's constantly ticking through every option and every possibility. And she is going through the motions, and you watch as she kind of holds them all together and allows this to go through. Not an option she wanted from this, not an option she's happy with, but one that she's neutral with. And you get the sense that no harm is going to come to your group.
Yeah.
So, unless there's anything you wish to discuss with those present, you may have your meal and you may head to your quarters afterwards.
As we're eating,
Mm-hmm.
can I do the kind of same thing to her? Analyze her, see if there's any little weak spots,
Okay.
at least physically.
Investigation check.
Or mentally, like if
Mhm.
she jerks to anything.
17. You see she is very wary of no one at the table outside of Gilgamesh. You see she's looking at his hands, looking at where he stands, looking at where he sits, looking at what he's staring at. And it's a very kind of keeping a distance. Every time he kind of reaches over, and he does so a lot, where he will kind of like gesticulate and he would just gesture with his hands. And he would start talking about something and he would reach over to her. You see she will like flinch slightly, she'll pull back. Nothing that's like picked up on by most people, but you see she is like afraid of him, afraid of his touch. And he just continues to sit there and discuss and over meal.
Bro has the
As-
cootie touch. What the hell?
As you're all eating, you will see Gilgamesh at one point. He doesn't eat. You see, he doesn't pick up anything. He's just sat there and watching everyone. Then he would just kind of look at the rest of you. So what brought you all here then to this mischievous part of Calzaria?
We were asked to deliver a letter. Yeah, some fan mail to yeah.
Some fan mail. So your
Yeah.
delivery man.
No, not really. Well, someone that we met on the way asked us, and we sort of said yes because we wanted to be nice.
Honestly, he was kind of creepy. Anyways.
Yeah.
Well, who isn't nowadays? There's always someone out there with a second agenda, trying to do something else, hidden between the shadows. Isn't that right, Diplo? He just kind of looks over and just sheepishly continues to eat.
Shade is being thrown.
Or is just sitting there, not even eating. Everyone in this room is second, third, and fifth agenda.
You see, he looks over at you, Ulrin, and he just says, "Yeah, as much as I like her, as much as I enjoy this ambience that they've got going on, I wouldn't trust the food either. You never know what might be in there. Maybe serving you her own sister. Who knows?
Wait, is that
Does Bro say that out loud?
there isn't?
He does say it out loud. You see Maeve just doesn't pay any attention to it, continues to eat, and so does Fia.
Well, I'm a vegetarian myself, so I'm not really interested in this.
Oh, don't worry about it. I'm just joking. They're not going to serve meat. That's from a person. Don't worry about that. I'm sure all of this is sustainably sourced. And you see
Sure.
Fia look over. Not at all. We hunted these beasts in the Howling Mountains. What you're eating here is Yeti meat. So I hope you enjoy.
Huh?
Cal has found the Yeti.
Not in a way you'd expect. So, Gilgamesh
Wait,
was the
questions.
The one and only.
Not often do you see a Triton so far away from Ishwahi.
Smiles and looks over. Very observant of you. Yes, clearly I'm not from here. I'm from down under. Why so
Yes.
curious?
Just an unusual thing to see, not in a bad way.
Well, I hope not. I quite pride myself on my looks. He gives a slight smile. But don't get
Amused.
handsy, okay?
No.
I admire a bit of flirtation, but it's in your best interest.
At least you're so close to being like, sir, I am 19 years old. Oh, no. Merely a medical observation. I'm quite interested in different races, species. Not all of them function the same.
A man of medicine. What you practice?
Just general healing.
I specialize in alchemy.
Do you?
Concoctions, blends, salves.
Hmm.
Putting things together and making the strange possible. It's fun.
Really?
Interesting.
What's the strangest thing you've ever done? That is so interesting.
You see Diplor just like look at you and like shake his head. Well, the strangest
like to
thing
hear
I've
that.
done. Well, just like Maeve here, I've done a bit of, well, having to deal with grudges. I've had to deal with nasty men. Work my way to the top. You know, it's a little bit different.
Hmm.
He gestures to your spoon that you have by your side, Cal, and he just kind of like gestures with his hand. I'll show you.
As he's
Yes,
showing off that, can I
please.
pay attention to Maeve? See how she
Mhm.
reacts.
Sure, you can roll an insight check.
Nope.
You pass the spoon. As soon as it touches his hands, You watch as the silver patina on it begins to corrode into a brown, brackish green, and then begin to whittle away into just black dust as he holds it in his hand and twiddles it between his fingers. It grows smaller and smaller as he holds it, as though the decay process is amplified 1,000 times. Well, I just can't stomach things. Can't eat anything. Can't even touch anything. Because if I do, it just all fades away. Like dust on the wind. That's probably the craziest thing I've done. Craziest thing I can do. And
Yeah, that's.
you know how long it takes for silver to deteriorate? Much, much slower than flesh or meat
Hmm.
or skin, bone, for that matter.
Right. Can you? I mean, can you also reverse it? Like that seems like an extremely dangerous thing to be able to. Can you also like repair stuff with it, or is it purely
Maybe I can,
destructive?
maybe I can't.
Huh?
Were you
As you can
born with
clearly
this?
see, and
Right.
he gestures towards Maeve. That's why she's keeping a fair distance away. Don't think I've not noticed, Maeve. I'm just playing with you, though. It's fine. Nobody wants to ever get close. And no, you're not born with these things. These things just happen. With
In
your
his head, Alicia goes, highly doubt that, but okay.
with a 25 in your insight check, Alicia, you can
Uh-huh.
see that Maeve is, she feels like she's being played with, toyed with.
Weird. Where does that come from?
You
Oh, Robbie.
you can
could
see
use
that she's like getting a bit angry at the bravado that Gilgamesh has, but she is someone that's here to make deals and will restrain these feelings if necessary, especially knowing how dangerous his touch can be. You see the eyes of someone who's perhaps seen it for first count, of someone perhaps being completely whittled down to ash in front of them.
Are you resistant to it?
Myself
I can imagine it can be quite difficult.
touches his face. Yeah, no problems there. But then he touches the table and you watch as his hand just flakes through as it begins to disintegrate.
Does the
More than
whole
anything
table
else.
disintegrate or just where
It
his
begins to
hands were?
disintegrate from where he touched and grows outwards slowly. You watch his plates just begin to drop to the ground. Cutlery as well. Smash.
I'm just catching my own. I'm just okay. That's
It's like takes the one glass or
Yeah.
cup of tea and just like well, interesting. Looks like
Yeah,
you can
quite
do
interesting.
something that took me quite a lot of effort in just a mere matter of seconds.
Well, he looks over towards Maeve. We have already done business before. And she looks at him. Yes. And I repaid you for it. I could never have done such a devastating explosion if it wasn't for you. So, you know how thankful I am for that. That's right. Just remember who put you in your position now. Be thankful for the friends that you have, because you never know when they might disappear. Fear speaks up Well, I think that our business is finished for this evening. Without a table, there's not much eating left to do. So, we'll end this tonight. For the rest of you, he looks over towards Alicia and the group, Cal, Ulrin, Helen, Tuco. You may stay if you like this evening, or you can leave. Completely up to you. The door is open. But I think for now, Gilgamesh, Diplor. He looks over towards Maeve. Yes, thank you for this lovely and very insightful dinner. A lot was learned, and I look forward to further business prospects. But for now, it'll be a goodbye, and to see you soon. Please, if the three of you could join me. And you see she begins to leave to behind her, where there is another room that's closed off before. And they will follow. You see Diplor and Gilgamesh give a nod in your direction, and you see Gilgamesh walk up towards Cal for a handshake. Pleasure to meet you.
I don't think I'm gonna think. Yeah, it was really nice. And Cal is keeping his hands very far away from that handshake.
What's wrong
Hell
with
no.
your hands?
I think I'm gonna have to politely refuse, considering your display with the spoon and table. I mean, unless you like promise that you won't disintegrate my hand.
Well, I don't think I'm that much of a man of promises.
Oh, right.
Enjoy your travels. And he just leaves.
Thanks. Good luck with your destroying syndicate stuff.
Cheers. Hopefully it all goes well. I'd quite like to hear and see this Aiden Hassar too.
I'm sure you would. And Lisa's gonna take Cal away.
Mm-hmm. The group of you are left to your devices. There are guards still standing by, but none of them are escorting you or bullying you into one way or another.
So we leave, right?
Yeah, we're leaving right now, right?
Yes.
Yes. Also, for a gambler, you're awful at negotiating.
Gambling? I suck at gambling. What do you mean?
Didn't you rob a guy blind?
What?
All his money
By
so
being
badly.
drunk in a casino, that is luck.
Alicia just rolls his eyes and like drags him out of there.
Can someone get me out of this chair?
Yeah,
quite
yeah,
high.
okay. Helen, can you?
Yes. She puts some gloves on and then picks him up and puts him down.
Why do I imagine we have like one of those like baby carriers?
Yeah. Tuco's just in it, just like bobbing along.
Can we have a booster seat for Tuco?
That's what he was in.
Hey, look, the cases are all raised
Oh boy.
So, what's the plan next? You heading into the city or staying here the night?
Find Richter and get the fuck away from the city.
I believe we're gonna try to find a place to rest first, because I'm assuming it's pretty late by now.
It is, yeah.
Can we rest on the snails while we run the fuck away?
No!
Don't we
We're
have to
waiting
get a person
for
out of the city
Brayna!
first?
Good God. We can take shifts. It's a thing.
Since you are now free of guards following you, you may go where you see fit in the city. An
Our
option that you could
shoes.
go to, you could try and stay at Brainer's if you wanted to. Up to you.
Question.
You get your
question.
shoes.
Yes, I know. I want to detect
Yay.
magic to see if they put anything on them.
Sure, go for it.
I-
So
I do it.
you use detect magic. Roll an investigation check.
Investigation check. What the hell? I have to roll investigation. 19.
You are very certain that there is no magic or any physical change to your shoes. They were
All
left
of our
as you
shoes.
left them. Every single one.
Good. Nothing on
Also,
us,
out of
too.
curiosity, did I have to leave all the shoes I carry or just the shoes I was
Oh my god, it's not all the fucking shoes.
Fuck's sake.
That's just 2 pair of shoes,
The
and
rubber
then
boot.
one random shoe with a plant in it.
Yeah, and one super tiny one.
The little baby one.
Yes.
You pick up your arsenal of boots and shoes.
Nobody else could place theirs because just cows took up the entire.
Yeah, they're all on the shelves. It's like, that's mine. That's my one. There it is.
That was also mine. Thanks.
Okay, so you're heading into the city. Where are you planning to go?
Well, did that Goliath fucking ever find Richter or like?
You want to return?
Probably not. The guy's stealthy. Probably.
I was about to say, Richter's pretty badass. There's no chance.
Can we stealth to
Sure you can.
the nearest tavern, please?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as I was saying, do you want to stay at a tavern or do you want to try and stay at Brainer's? Because she does have accommodation now.
No.
I don't think we should.
Yeah, we're not dragging her into this.
Just making sure.
I don't want to drag her into this. Fuck
And stealth
no.
checks from each one of you.
I have advantage. Fuck! Using my last reroll. It's fine. Using my last reroll.
I will roll.
Don't even bother. Oh,
Ah!
how?
I roll for Helen. Okay, everyone roll.
Oh my god.
How the fuck did
How did all roll? How did all
Alex is trying to be stealthy, but like he's pissed off, so he's just like speed walking through a crowd.
Yeah, Cal is the opposite.
walking.
Cal is shaking in his boots. Cal is too afraid to be quiet.
Okay.
He's also probably rambling, so that doesn't help.
You're all just so loud that Oren is somehow stealthy.
You find your way through the very busy street, even though it's like 2 a.m. at this point, as you're leaving the confines of this mansion. You are heavily exhausted after a long day of travel. It's been a long day for you guys. You're in Transvalar, and now you're in another city halfway across the continent. It's 2 a.m. You're exhausted. So you're just kind of like trying to make your way through this headache of a city. Eventually, you find a tavern here, more specifically an inn for you to stay at. It accommodates for both. So you're seeing a quite rowdy downstairs where a party is going on at the Dead Pony Inn. Here you see that there is just a busy ground floor. But as you make your way to the front, you can ask for the bartender to get some places set for you. It will cost you guys 1 silver per room. The rooms can have 2 beds in them. So if you wanted to double up, that's up to you. But you have 6 people to accommodate for outside of Richter, I believe.
I say
He's
we
gonna
take
get his
1
own
room and put a
room.
couple people on the floor. The city is so unsafe.
Alicia wants
Yep.
to get a room of his own.
Okay.
Okay, sure. Isolate yourself from us so that none of us know when you get murdered in your sleep.
Don't you worry, Poop. I got this.
Okay.
Okay, fine. The 2 rooms. Cal is paying because this is all his fault. So
Okay.
2 silver
You're
from
paying for
Cal
my room
2
too?
rooms. Yes, I'm paying for
Oh.
both rooms. The one where everyone is
Oh.
sleeping and watching over each other's back, and the one where Alicia is being on his own.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I have Lehman's tiny hut, so suck my noggin.
Well, you
Yeah,
could have
we-
put all of us into that.
You should have thought about that before you crashed the snail into a criminal city.
That is fair.
Out of context. Amazing D&D.
Just at one point, I swear to God, if you guys don't behave, I'm gonna turn this snail around.
I did nothing wrong, and somehow I'm still here.
Oren is invited later if he wants to come. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, so you spend 2 silver, get 2 rooms. The rest of you are tightly packed into a room for 2, but you make the space, set up your bedrolls, and try to rest. You do not see Richter. You've not seen him at the moment. You do see Tuco just say,
Would you like me to send a message to Victor to tell him we're here?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a brilliant idea. You're a very smart frog. Thank you.
Oren, please, not Frog.
Yeah, I'm
I
so
am an
sorry. It's
Oren.
been a very long day. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. A man just deteriorated silver and a table in front of us. Understandable.
you see he cast the sending spell in his book because he just writes in it.
Dear.
As he just writes a message to Richter.
Okay, he's coming.
That's what she
Eventually, nice. After 10 minutes, Robbie, I thought the same thing, but I didn't want to say it.
It's okay, I speak for you, Max.
Thank you, thank you. After 10 minutes, you hear a knock at the door as Richter arrives. You see he's kind of a bit of exhausted as he's been kind of walking around the streets for ages, and he just says, where were all of you? I completely forgot of where anyone was, and I went on my own little mission. Not fun, but I found out that there's a temple here dedicated to some Corthane immortal. So that's lovely.
Yeah.
So I prefer we get involved in that. And also, their leader is a person called Scarlet Deceiver, Maeve. Let's not introduce her to Aiden Assar, please.
I feel like Cal actually starts to cry.
Yes, he does. Cal's just sort of go like, oh, well.
I'm very sorry in advance.
Oh.
I've done my best.
So how to scale?
I take no responsibility.
On a scale of really fucking horrible and not all that bad, how bad is Maeve? Like, yeah.
Bro, what the fuck do you think?
She had multiple corpses in her entryway.
I know that, but
She
like,
blew up
her,
people.
Like, you're not here. You're on your own.
This is the devil on your shoulder.
That's just a very suspicious hole in the wall.
Yeah, just looking through. It's Vesyl, there probably is. Let's be honest. You see Richter just like rub his brow. Okay, we can work around this. Oh no.
Well, to be fair, it's not really your fault. She seemed to know him. She like took one look at these, and he waves around the amulet, and then she knew that we worked for him, or like at least she knew that like we were given these by him, which isn't even true. And we didn't tell them anything about, why we're here. They just know that we were hired by Hazar to do something. And they think we were hired by the actual Hazar, which also isn't the case. So they actually don't know shit. And they're trying to do like illegal, like overthrowing criminal syndicates or some shit. And there was this dude who deteriorated shit with his hands. And I think he's trying to like start a gang war or something. Or
He puts his hand on your face and he just says, Cal, I think we're all quite exhausted. Perhaps we can talk about this in the morning.
Right.
We can gather our thoughts as we dream, as we sleep, as we meditate.
Right.
And we can plan things in the morning. Have you met this man?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good enough. We can go from there. Now, Am I sleeping with the rest of you here? Because it's quite cramped.
I can buy you another room
It's
if you
okay.
want a room.
I can manage. Tuco,
No, it was like
switch over.
we wouldn't be in this mess if I hadn't crushed one of our snails, so I should be the one paying for it.
Cal, don't blame
Yes.
yourself for all of this. We were planning to go to Vesyl. We probably would have fallen into this anyway. If you said they saw
Yeah,
the
I
amulet
doubt
and
we would
they
have fallen
hide
quite
it
this
hid in her
hard.
cellar, then surely we still would have had whatever altercation you had with them. This is just all circumstantial. Don't put this on your shoulders. And try to rest. The last thing you want is to think about you being the one at fault here. And that's no
Yeah,
way to treat
it's like
yourself
that.
or anyone to treat each
Okay.
other in this team. No matter if we fault, no matter if we are the one that's caused the mistake, life happens and we move on. Now, Tuco, please just don't touch me. He just lays in bed.
Okay. But I do like to spoon.
As
Oh
you all begin
no.
to rest, try to rest. Yes, Robbie?
Before that,
Mm-hmm.
but Alicia goes to his room,
Yes.
closes the door.
Yes.
Is this place at least a little bit soundproof?
Nope.
Oh well. Is there a bucket or any kind of bowl-shaped thing in this room?
Sure. There's a bowl.
Big one?
Yeah.
Okay. With
happening?
everything that's happened, in
Mhm.
one day.
Yes. There's also a window,
Alicia. Well, it feels
that's what
rude
you
to throw up
prefer.
in an alley. He is just going to grab the bowl and throw up
Mm-hmm.
as he is completely shaken by what he saw
Sure.
and was trying to hold it in for the
Mhm.
most part of the evening.
You feel the presence of Nebula just appear as they're rubbing your back. Don't worry, darling. It's a little bit over soon. We'll be out of this shithole, and you'll be able to wash yourself proper.
I guess so, but I don't think I would be able to erase that from my mind. I
Well,
know I've seen it all in textbooks, but it's much different in person.
if you need a hand with it, I can help erase some things from your memory.
I don't think I should forget.
Nor do I. But I tell you these things because I'm here for you. If you think it's best, you think it'll help you sleep at night.
I don't think I could sleep at night knowing that that woman is in charge. She's a monster.
There are much worse people out there. You just haven't come across them yet.
Doesn't make her any less bad than she is.
Does not. Does not explain such callous and rudeness and unnecessary tones.
That's a nice way to put what she's doing. I think I just need some rest.
I
But
think so
thank
too.
you. Good night, Nebula.
Good night. Dream of the stars. Don't think about this world. Go beyond and see the other. Each
It's
one of
gonna
you.
do Lehman's tiny hut. Sleep in
Sure
it.
thing. Tuka would have done the same, but there's no space. So
So
all of you, 15-foot radius now.
10, I believe.
10-foot radius. Bigger than this room for everyone. But yeah.
Mine extends into their room a little.
We just get pushed out.
Just pokes through the hole. Oh my eye.
Oh, the fuck?
Cursed!
You
The little frogman cursed!
the little frogman. You all have a long rest, and we will end the session
Yay.
there and pick up next time.
Oh my
Since we
god.
are past
11. Yay, make a
11.
wish.
There we go.
I'm
So
going
hopefully you
to.
guys
I
enjoyed.
I
wish
swear to
made
God,
to die.
Cassidy.
Oh well.
Okay, now great. Now we have confirmation that he went back to the fucker, that the fucker can reverse what he did to Diplor, and that Diplor is now fucking.
Arne has no fucking
So now we can all confidently say, Cassie! Cassie!
Yes! Thank
Yeah.
God.
Also, I swear to God, Max, as soon as you said other guests, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's gonna be one of the three of the fuckers. Oh my god. I don't know if you could hear me mouthing, I'm gonna kill you, Max. Max. I had to mute myself. I was like,
I had to look away when I was describing Gilgamesh because I was like, they're just gonna fucking know straight away. As soon as I said
Yeah,
someone from
yeah.
another world.
Also, we were
Me and
probably gonna
Cass-
make you laugh.
Probably were really like. Great.
As
Anyway,
soon, I
Arne-
can see you
Arne has no
smirk.
idea. Everyone else who's
That's
I
watching
mean, we're
just
so
has no
fucked.
idea.
We're so
No,
fucked.
it's okay. It's all good. It's all good.
It's not good. Stop coping. Stop huffing copium.
Let me go.
But anyway,
No.
we will
Let's just
end the
agree that the
session
takeaway
there.
from this is fucking say Cassie. For God's fucking sake.
Cassie, if you're watching this is all
Cassie,
your
yes.
fault. No, I'm kidding.
Cassie, this is all your fault.
And I say thank you.
Why did
Cassie.
you have to steal his fucking money? Was it worth it?
He opened up to you. You were like, oh, I'm gonna steal his shit.
Damn,
I'm gonna
fuck
set
your
this
dead
family
wife and your
feeling
kid. I'm
cool.
gonna steal from you. Oh.
If you want to find out what the two of them are talking about, check out Sunday Campaign.
Yeah.
Then you'll know what's going on.
Then you'll know why we're tweaking out.
Yeah. Yeah, if you
Um,
think Cal makes frustrating choices, wait until you meet Thorn.
Also, we have another thing happening this week. In 2 days' time, on Thursday, one of our players from the Sunday campaign, Jack, he will be DMing a one-shot for us all.
Yes.
Did we
for-
confirm which time?
It's going to be in the evening, so same time as this
Yay.
session
Mhm,
today.
mhm.
That
Yeah,
seems to be the
close.
sweet spot for us. So if you want to see that, it's give you a little spice, a little hint. It's going to be based around fables and stories.
Yes.
But check it out. See if you like it.
It's also going to have Max as a player, which is an experience. So
Oh,
there's-
it's
Very true.
Definitely, yeah. But there we are. So hopefully you enjoyed. Bit
Send help.
chaotic. Send help.
yes,
Everyone.
send all the help, please.
Call an ambulance. but not
We
for
are
me.
Spam
dying.
Max's
Come on,
email to
Alex.
spare his players.
Yeah, don't worry.
Just kidding. Don't actually do that.
Yeah, no.
No.
Do it. I mean, what?
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
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 Bye bye. How do I do this? Oh yeah, bye bye. That's the one.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, they can still hear us, I think, can't they?
Yep.
Yep, they
Yeah,
can.
yeah, they can still hear
go
us.
over this every
but
time.
Put in
you have
as
to
many
press the
swear words as
thing.
you can.